Genesis, blood in the field. The first murder, lie, and mark of God. In the dawn of humanity, before kings built empires and prophets walked among men, there were only a handful of names written into the soil of creation. The Garden of Eden, once the home of perfect harmony, had been sealed by a flaming sword. And Adam and Eve, now clothed in mortality, wandered eastward into a harsh and unfamiliar world. The weight of exile pressed upon their shoulders, but within that weight was also a promise that even in brokenness, life would continue. In that strange new land, Eve conceived and bore a son. They named him Cain, meaning acquired or brought forth. And Eve declared with trembling joy, "I have gotten a man from the Lord." Soon after, she bore another son, Abel, his name meaning breath or vapor, a reminder of life's fleeting nature. And so, the first brothers were born, two lives shaped by the same parents, the same home, and yet destined for profoundly different paths. Cain grew to be a tiller of the ground, laboring against cursed soil, coaxing life from earth that now resisted man's hand. Abel became a keeper of sheep, tending flocks that roamed across hills, nurturing life rather than wresting it from the ground. At first, there was peace. Two brothers, two callings, two ways of sustaining life. But deep beneath the surface of this story, something ancient stirred. Choice, will, the power to shape destiny, and with it, the seeds of both greatness and destruction. The offerings. Time passed, and with the turning of seasons came the moment to honor the Creator. Each brother brought forth the fruits of his labor, not out of obligation, but out of reverence. Cain laid before the Lord the produce of his fields, grains and fruits born of sweat and toil. Abel brought the firstborn of his flock, the richest portions of their fat, a sacrifice of life itself. Smoke rose from both offerings. But then the moment that would change everything arrived. God accepted Abel's offering, but not Cain's. The reason is not written plainly. Perhaps it was about the heart, the spirit behind the gift. Perhaps Cain's offering lacked the devotion that Abel's carried. Or perhaps, as Cain's heart would soon whisper, "How can I offer perfection from soil that was cursed before I was even born?" The ground, after all, had been cursed because of Adam's disobedience. Animals had not. Could it have been easier for Abel to offer what was untainted? Was Cain doomed to disappointment before the offering was even made? And yet, perhaps there was a deeper mystery at play, one written not in the soil, but in the stars themselves. Some have wondered whether this moment symbolized more than personal devotion. Perhaps it marked a cosmic shift in ages. Cain, the farmer, embodied the age of the bull. An astrological age lasts for about 2,160 years. The agrarian age, when humanity's survival depended on the earth. In ancient astrological wisdom, Taurus, the bull, symbolized strength, fertility, and the labor of the land. The bull plowed fields and fed nations. Entire religions were built around its worship. But ages end, and new ones rise. Abel, the shepherd, may have represented the age of the ram, a new era emerging from the heavens. The age of Aries, the ram, was an age of war, and the advent of the shepherd king that will lead and protect his people. In this age, symbolized by Aries, the shepherd guides and protects. Humanity's path would shift from mere survival to leadership, from worship of the earth to the guidance of souls. Shepherds would rise as chosen vessels, Moses, David, and even Jesus, who would one day call himself the Good Shepherd. Could Abel's accepted offering have been a divine signal? a message that an old world was passing away and a new one was being born. It is a mystery worth pondering. Let's pause for a second. If you like and find value in the video, please like, share, and subscribe to help grow the channel. Thank you. Now back to our story. The shadow at the door. Rejection cut deep. Cain's heart burned and his face darkened with anger. And in that moment, the voice of God spoke, not with condemnation, but with a father's warning. Why are you angry? And why has your countenance fallen? If you do well, will you not be accepted? But if you do not do well, sin lies at the door. Its desire is for you, but you must rule over it. Pause here and look inward. Have you ever felt the sting of rejection? Have you ever watched someone else's success ignite something dark inside you? This is the timeless moment humanity faces again and again, when jealousy knocks, when resentment crouches at the door. And we, like Cain, must decide whether to master it or be mastered by it. Cain did not master it. Blood in the field. One day, Cain spoke to Abel. Perhaps it began as a conversation, perhaps as an argument. Words turned sharp, anger swelled, and then rage took form. In the open field, far from watchful eyes, Cain rose against his brother and killed him. Abel, breath, vapor, was gone. The first death, the first murder, the first stain upon human hands. And the earth, once cursed by disobedience, now drank the blood of the innocent. The divine confrontation. Then came the voice, calm, knowing, sorrowful. Cain, where is Abel, your brother? And Cain lied. The first lie, spoken to the Almighty, since Eden, I do not know. Am I my brother's keeper? But the ground itself testified. Your brother's blood cries out to me from the earth, and judgment fell like thunder. Now you are cursed from the ground, which has opened its mouth to receive your brother's blood. When you till it, it shall no longer yield its strength to you. You shall be a fugitive and a wanderer on the earth. Cain's heart collapsed under the weight of his actions. My punishment is greater than I can bear. You have driven me from your presence. Anyone who finds me will kill me. But even in wrath, mercy spoke, not so. Whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken sevenfold. The mark and the mystery. And so, God set a mark upon Cain, a mysterious sign, both protection and proclamation. Humanity's first murderer would not die by another's hand. Justice would belong to God alone. But the question lingers, what was this mark, and how could it hold such power? Perhaps, just perhaps, the mark was already known beyond Eden. The scriptures hint that others existed outside Adam's family. Could it be that these early peoples already recognized the symbol of the Almighty, that it was a sign they dared not defy? If so, then God's act was not only protective, but strategic. Placing his mark upon Cain ensured that no one would dare harm him, for to do so would mean defying divine authority itself. The mark was not merely a brand of guilt. It may have been a seal of awe, a living reminder that even judgment carries the shadow of mercy. It is a mystery without answer. Was the mark a curse or a badge of divine ownership? And deeper still, what marks do we carry today, visible or invisible, that speak of our past, our choices, and our relationship with the divine? East of Eden. Cain departed from the presence of the Lord and wandered eastward into the land of Nod. the land of wandering. There he took a wife, built a city, and named it after his son Enoch. Generations followed: Irad, Mehujael, Methushael, Lamech, a lineage born from blood, yet still bearing the image of God. Pause and reflect. The first city builder, the first father of a civilization, was a murderer. Even in our brokenness, humanity continues to build. Even in exile, we shape the world. A new seed. Back in Adam and Eve's dwelling, grief lingered like a shadow. Abel was gone. Cain was banished. But hope, fragile, persistent hope, was not lost. Eve conceived again and bore a son. His name was Seth, meaning appointed. For God, she said, has appointed me another seed instead of Abel, whom Cain slew. From Seth's line would come Enos, from Enos, Canaan, from Canaan, Mahalaleel. Generations stretched onward like branches reaching toward heaven. Among them was a man named Enoch, who walked with God for 300 years. And then one day, he was not, for God took him. Where did God take Enoch? Was it to heaven or somewhere else? Enoch was not allowed to die. He was allowed to live with the gods for God's purpose. A mystery greater than death, a man who did not die. The human mirror. The story of Cain and Abel is more than a tale of two brothers. It is a mirror reflecting every human soul. Within us lives Abel, the spirit that offers its best with faith. Within us also lives Cain, the part that resents, compares, and lets rejection fester into hatred. Both stand at the altar. Both live within you. The question is not whether you are Cain or Abel. The question is which one you will allow to rule. God's question still echoes across millennia. Why are you angry? If you do well, will you not be accepted? It is a question not only for Cain, but for all of us. We will continue the Genesis story. The story of humanity will spiral forward into new ages, of giants and floods, of covenants and kings, of rebellion and redemption. But in this field, soaked with the blood of one brother and the guilt of another, humanity first discovered its power to choose and the consequences that choice can bring. The blood still cries from the ground. The question still whispers at the door. And the story of creation's children is far from over. Please like, share, and subscribe to help us build the channel. Stay tuned for the next video.